Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome back to my podcast, Embodied Abundance. I'm Nathalie, your host, and I guide soul towards embodied abundance. And this podcast episode is all about when everything is falling apart in life. And let me tell you this first. When everything is falling apart in your life, it actually means that everything is falling into a place that is more soul aligned. And I will share with you in this podcast episode my personal story and journey towards more embodied abundance, self love, and self esteem. And towards the past years, I've been on a very transformational journey, and I'm still on a transformational journey, as we all are, towards embodying our true self, towards returning to ourselves, towards coming into more soul alignment and letting go of control, truly surrendering to the divine that is within us, that is around us. And I have been guided in the past years to let go of control. That's one of the first and biggest topics of my life, to surrender control, let it go, and trust my intuition. Follow my heart, even though it feels so uncomfortable. It feels so uncomfortable, it feels scary. But following my heart and my intuition, that was basically the core essence of my past, of the journey of my past years. And I've been guided in the past years to leave everything, and I mean everything, behind that was safe and that was familiar to me. Because our brain always detects familiarity, so something that is familiar to you, as safe. So I felt safe in my surrounding. I felt safe in where I was because of the familiarity. It was just familiar to me. And I've created a life back when I moved to Berlin in Germany, away from my hometown. I started to create a life that felt fulfilling, that felt nice, but still there was something in my heart that was telling me, you need to leave. That's not in alignment with who you are now, with the version of yourself that you are right now. And I just knew I need to leave. And I left. I was guided to go to Cyprus, and I moved there, and I lived there for more than a year. And also there I created a surrounding, I created relationships that felt back then true to me, that felt back then aligned to me. And I realized also in Germany, my surrounding, and in Cyprus, that it was not truly in soul alignment, and that they were a lot of karmic relationships. Actually, it turned out that a lot of these relationships were actually karmic relationships, teaching me a so valuable lesson that I needed to learn. And most of the times these lessons were about really honoring, respecting myself, valuing myself, setting proper boundaries against disrespect, against people hurting my boundaries, against betrayal. All of these topics were coming up, and I just knew, okay, I need to, it's something, because it became a pattern that I realized in these things that were happening in my life, that I just realized, okay, it's a pattern, and this pattern wants to be broken. It wants to be cleared. So I properly value myself. I properly love myself. And what happened is that I started to value myself properly. I started to set proper boundaries. I started to set boundaries to toxic and negative energy in my surrounding. I started to protect myself. And this was something because also of the trauma of my childhood. I didn't know know how to protect myself. And that's just an issue because of I didn't value myself, my boundaries enough. And when I started to do so, I realized that, yeah, I was just guided. It was not even something that I wanted to do, like end so many relationships, kind of almost all relationships in my life, just because they weren't in alignment with my heart and my soul and my spirit guides, and the divine was guiding me. And of course, my human mind was so scared. My human mind was like, I don't feel safe anymore. If I leave behind all these relationships that once were so important to me and close to me, I won't be safe. I will be completely alone. And my my divine self was so calm and stable within these moments that my intuition was so clear. My intuition was so clear, telling me, no, you need to leave and you need to end those relationships. Like, it was not all in one moment, but actually that I could process it. So it was actually within a whole year that I was guided to end so many relationships in my life. I think it already started before that year because I ended already some relationships, but within 1 year, and it was especially last year when I was being guided to end so many relationships in my life. And there was a repetitive pattern in all of these relationships, which was either disrespect, which was people betraying me, hurting me. It was relationships where I didn't feel completely emotionally safe and held and supported. So yes, in the end, it was relationships that were so valuable because they were teaching me a lesson, and the lesson was again and again valuing myself, honoring myself, respecting my needs and my boundaries, and truly speaking up for me, setting my boundaries, saying no to disrespect, saying no to negativity, to toxic energy in my surrounding. And it was never, I knew it was never about the people because I actually love them so much. It was about the energies that they carried and the inner work that they didn't do in the end. The inner work that was needed and required of them to break their own patterns so the relationship could grow. But I needed to realize that I had so many relationships in my life where people were not actually doing the inner work that they might have, yeah, that might have helped them to grow and to be in more soul alignment. And I needed to respect everyone's soul's path and journey, that not every soul is here to properly grow and expand into their highest version and become more their divine self, return to their true nature. So many souls are, that's not their path. It's just not their path, or they are so avoiding. Like, it's because it's so uncomfortable. And I now understand how uncomfortable it can be to be in soul alignment and to embody abundance, to embody your true abundant nature. It is challenging, of course, because in the end you face all the darkness that is within you. So we are on a journey, and if you are here on this video listening to me, you are also on a journey where you will keep facing your own darkness to return to your light and to let your light expand more and more, to become more of your divine self, of that divine light. But darkness is not something, that is also what I learned. Darkness is not something that is somehow negatively, or it's something that we should avoid. Darkness is actually something we should embrace and truly be happy also about that, because within every darkness and void there lies a gift. There is such a gift within. And these lessons that we learn through facing our own darkness and the darkness in life and the void, and when everything falls apart, it's just because so much light is about to enter you. And you're actually being guided to create that energetic vessel within you so that the light can enter and can be held within that vessel. So you are growing so much, you are learning so much. That is a huge, huge gift in life. So I just needed to change my place because someone started to sit just right beside me, and I don't like that when I'm recording. So I really want to share very freely, and especially in this podcast episode. So what I also wanted to share with you is that I was called to let go of everything that felt familiar and so safe to me. So that were these relationships in Germany and in Cyprus that I let go of. And also I was being called within the past year to also let go of money, like to properly detach from money. And that was when I was being guided to travel, for example, and I used my money to travel and to invest it in things that felt aligned with me for my growth, for my highest expansion. And I also lost money in the sense that I had a car accident in Cyprus last year. And in this car accident, this car that I bought, it was fine, completely destroyed, and we couldn't repair it or something. And that's also where I lost a lot of money. And I was being guided also to detach properly from money, and in the sense of surrendering to the divine, knowing that all of that is meant to happen. Not because I did something wrong or made the wrong decision or whatever. It was meant to happen. So I really understand that my self-worth isn't depending on money, isn't depending on the money I make, on the money I have. And I was being guided to let go of that belief that was within myself. And also, I was being guided to let go of the business that I had, because I was doing last year, I created a whole training in German to be an energy healer and to really guide souls to be an energy healer. And I did this training and mentorship for one person, and I created a 5 months training to be an energy healer. It was a lot of work that I put into this training, and I also realized by the end of this training, it was in December and January, December last year, January this year, that this isn't in alignment with who I am now. This isn't in alignment with my heart and soul, because my soul is calling me to do something that is expanding myself more. That is where I can properly share my wisdom, my insights. And I know now that I have been being guided to guide souls to embodied abundance, guide souls to their inherent abundant nature, and help them to receive abundance much more effortlessly and easily by letting go of control, by surrendering more, by opening their hearts up to love and to abundance. So, yes, in the end, I know I was being guided exactly here to where I am now, but I needed to let go of so much that provided safety for me. And to let go of that, also for me, a huge pattern was seeking approval. Like, it was subconscious, but it was like seeking approval on the outside, seeking approval of other people in order to feel safe. So my inner child connected this. If i if i am being liked by another person, I'm safe. So I was subconsciously chasing this validation and approval in my relationships, yeah, to feel safe, to feel good, to feel comfortable. And I love that I now realize that this was a huge pattern in my whole life and the basic foundation of so many of my relationships. And the healing was to let go of the approval, to let go of the relationships that didn't feel in alignment, and knowing that true approval and validation can only come from within myself, from me validating myself, approving of myself. That's true self-esteem and self-worth, and stop searching and looking for it on the outside. Um, yeah, and that's how I can feel safe within myself. And I love that I see now, with having surrendered to the darkness, having surrendered to the loss of relationships, of money, of safety in my life, that I connected so much more to myself, that I feel so much more safe and comfortable within myself, also within setting proper boundaries to negativity or to people disrespecting me. And I love that. I love to see who I have become through this darkness, through this descent. Yeah, also in the goddess tradition, we are talking a lot about the descent, like when you are descending into the womb of the mother, of the great mother, of the goddess, when you're descending there and you cannot see the outcome, you cannot see your future, you don't know exactly where you're heading towards. It's the unknown, where you don't know what's coming next, but you know and feel that this is for you, that this is for your growth, for your expansion, for your transformation. And yeah, I I now love seeing that this descent was actually so necessary. That the darkness, facing my own darkness so much, and being in this void was so necessary to know actually and realize what is actually alignment, what is for me soul alignment, and what do I really want in life, in relationships, in my business. And I just know that one of the most important things for me has become soul alignment. It needs to be aligned with my heart and my soul. Otherwise, I cannot do it, and I won't do it. And um, exactly also the same with relationships. And I know that sometimes, and many times, relationships might not be aligned with your heart and soul, but also they are so valuable, because every relationship, every encounter in life is a divine blessing. It's teaching you something divine, and that you need to learn, that you need to understand. And yes, that's what brings us actually so much peace, and can bring us so much peace in life, when we understand that the darkness is actually part of our journey, of our journey towards more light, more ourselves, more who we truly are, embodying who we truly are, being that version that is so aligned with our hearts and soul. It's necessary. It's not something we should avoid. Rather, we should embrace the darkness. We should embrace the unknown, because the unknown and the darkness and the fear is leading us towards where we are meant to be. And it's by embracing and making peace with the darkness and with what is going on in your life, with the challenges in life, with the fear you feel. It's by making peace with that, by embracing it, by embracing your inner child that is still scared, that feels unsafe. By embracing that, you become your divine self. You become more love. You embody more love, more abundance. So yes, in the end, what I realized is that it is good exactly as it is. Life is good exactly as it is. And that everything that happens in life has a deeper meaning, and that we cannot control. It's literally, as humans, we cannot control what is happening in life. We have a control over our reaction, over how we want to respond to what is happening in life. But we cannot control all the circumstances that are happening in life. And just knowing that there is a divine intelligence behind everything that is happening in life gave me so much peace. Even if I cannot see the bigger picture, but I am being taken care of. I am being supported already. I am being loved already. And I don't need to look for the safety, for the love, for the support, for the hold on the outside, for the validation on the outside. It's here. It's here within myself, because the divine is within me, and I can always speak and connect back to the divine, to love. Yeah. So big realizations. I hope that this podcast episode really inspired you wherever you are right now in your life, in the transformation you are in right now, and helps you to let go of controlling circumstances in your life, challenges that are happening in your life, and surrendering to the divine, surrendering to that bigger picture that you cannot see now, but one day you will see it and you will know why things had to be like that, why things had to be difficult or challenging, or you faced so much fear and darkness. You will know why. Trust that. Trust that. I love you and take care of you, and I'm sending you a huge, huge hug. So much love and abundance to you.